Hey everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs, and this is day 4 of my Pink Buckaroo 12 Days of Christmas countdown. I've got 2 projects every single day for you. We're going to end with actually more than 24 because I already have 3 designed for tomorrow. Join me every day for a video tutorial helping you get ready, get all your Christmas crafting done. I'll be doing a card and like a treat package every day. Okay, well today we're using Delicate Pines. This is a great suite of products that you'll find in the online exclusives. The paper that goes with it is called Elegant Pine Snowflakes. Really, really pretty. I also have snuck in a little bit of Wildflower birthday paper because hello, pink, and this is Pretty in Pink and Pool Party. They are so good together. All right, let's start with our card. And I do want to point out when we get over there to the next project, I am using Snowy Delights, A Warm Hello. All right, just because I needed a smaller sentiment. Okay, let's start with our focal point. I've done a lot of work ahead of time because this has a lot of pieces. You're going to need to cut out 2 garden green sprigs, 1 old olive. This can be, and we're going to use this as a snowflake in the next project, but this could be used as a snowflake or as I'm using it here, kind of like a pine bough. Then 2 of the old olive, the smaller ones. You're going to need a couple of these. I think the die cuts out 3 of the little berries, so cherry cobbler. I have stamped the sentiment on a Secret C textured notes rectangle in Versamark and heat embossed it in white embossing powder. Now for the pine cones, I have cut out the background, I guess you would call it, in Early Espresso, and the foreground, the front image, the front shape in Pecan Pie. And when I cut these out, before I cut these out, I put adhesive sheets on the back so that then it's just a sticker. The first time I made this card, I didn't do that, and I was dealing with liquid glue, and it was making a mess, and I thought, next time I do this, I'm going to be smart about it, and I am going to put an adhesive sheet on the back. All right, so let's get all those little doodads out. Now they're all stuck to me. There we go. All right, so now we've got our pieces. I have also cut out a Pool Party. This is also the textured notes rectangle. And we are going to take the little snowflake and we're going to stamp this. I've got a piece of old grid paper here that I'm going to use in Pool Party. Let's see if I can move these up a little bit. And I'm just going to stamp it all around. And I want the snowflakes to kind of be going off the edge too. And I don't want it real uniformed. I just want falling snowflakes. Most of it's going to be covered up anyway. So you want some of those on the edge too, because those will really be seen. Now also, we're going to take just a piece of white scrap paper and we need 2 snowflakes. Pool Party again. Okay. Now grab your cut and emboss machine, and I have better plates than this so we can actually see what we're doing. I have good plates and then I have old plates. The old plates are for when I don't need to line something up. The new plates help me see better than the other plates. All right, we've got this snowflake die. I was thinking, are there 2? Nope, there's just 1. Okay, sometimes they give us 2 of the more tedious, smaller images. That way we can cut out more at one time. I think we saw that yesterday on the Gingerbread Man suite, maybe with the gumdrops, where we had 2 sets. All right, there's our 1 snowflake, and then let's get this one lined up. All right, there we go. So we can move that out of the way. And let's go ahead and start loading all these things up. I'm going to start, I like to start with the bigger pieces first. So we've got the sprigs. We'll use the sprigs first. So just a couple of dots of glue, not too big. I'm going to put this one up here like that. And this one down here like this, kind of hanging off the edge a little bit down here. All right, and then this one, it has this circle in the middle so that when you do make your snowflake, it makes it really, really easy. You can line those circles up and just glue them all together. All right, I'm gonna switch over to dimensionals for our sentiment. I'm going to put that right in the middle like that. And then let's see, I think I'm going to do dimensionals for my pine cones. I prefer dimensionals. They're my favorite adhesive. All right, those are kind of sliding around because I don't have them glued all the way. Okay, we'll put this one down here. Like that. All right, now for our snowflakes. I'm going to put a snowflake here and a snowflake here. And I think it's time to use my Take Your Pick tool. As we get down to the smaller bits, it's easier to pick them up. All right, then our berry clusters. Let's see, okay, the little doodad fell out. The little piece inside the hole. Let's see if I can get this one to poke out. There we go. And we'll put this, we don't want to put it upside down. Right there. Okay. Now, did we not need these? I thought we needed them, and maybe we do. Do we want to poke those in there? We could. No, I don't think we need them. Let's save them. Save them for something else. All right, that's really pretty. Now, let's add a few rhinestones. I'm going to add first to the center of our snowflakes. And then we'll just kind of sprinkle them around. Maybe we'll put one over here like that. Very pretty. All right, last but not least, we're going to use the Garden Green little mini chevron ribbon. I love this ribbon because it's skinny and delicate. Okay. It's not going to bulk up your card a whole lot. Sometimes I like to add big bows to my cards, but they do bulk things up. When you put them in the envelope, it's a little awkward. All right, we'll put that right there. Okay, now let's just put the card base together. We're pretty much done. This is a pool party card base, and I've got a piece of the, what was it called? Let me look at my notes. I have it written down because it's a very long name. The Elegant Pine Snowflakes Designer Series paper. We'll put that piece right there. And then we will put dimensionals right here and add this. Now, I don't always spruce up the inside of my card, but for Christmas, I feel like we should. So I'm going to take that little snowflake and just add a few snowflakes like that. And then we could even add a few dimensionals to our snowflake, rhinestones, and then sprinkle them around as well, like that. All right. There we go. All right, and there's our first project. A beautiful, multi-layered card, warmest winter wishes. And you could change that, of course, to Merry Christmas if you want to stick with a traditional saying, or you could even stamp Merry Christmas right in the inside. You could use cherry cobbler. That would be pretty. Okay, let's look at our second project. This is a holder for a marshmallow mug hugger. This is from Target. They make these marshmallows that you just set on the top of your hot chocolate. And we love these. So I made just a little, I call this a fry box to hold it. Okay, let's make that fry box. You're gonna need your Simply Scored. And I've got 2 pieces of Pool Party over here, and I don't know which is which. So let's look. I think it's this one. 8 by 5 1/4. Yes, that's what this is. All right, on the long side, you're gonna score at 4 1/4 and 5 1/4. This is a really easy project. The box is 1 and 4 1/4. Okay, now get your bone folder. Burnish those lines. Then I'm going to trim these and I'm going to cut off the corners. Okay, now we'll do this one same way. All right. So now take these little tabs here and put adhesive on the outside. And then here, we're gonna put adhesive on the inside. All right, so now stand the back up and fold those in. You want it to be flush, even with the bottom. So use this edge right here, down here to make it stand up even. And then fold this up, and these just wrap around the sides like this. Now take your scissors and cut at an angle from this front edge to that back edge. Okay, so the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top, and there you go. It's like a little mini magazine holder. I call it a fry box because it's also similar to a French fry box. All right, now I'm picking up all my little pieces here. I'm using that Wildflower birthday paper. I've got a lot of this, and it's on the last chance list. It is beautiful paper. So if you don't have it, go check it out. I think it was like $9 last time I checked. And it's gold foil. It's gorgeous. All right, and then we'll slide this in here. Now let's make our cluster of goodies. I have already cut these out. Remember, we used these in the previous project in Old Olive. We're going to do them in white this time. So you need 3 of those. Then get the Pool Party cardstock. And we're going to stamp the large snowflake in Pool Party. Okay. And we're going to stamp this smaller one, which I think is the next size, in Pool Party also. Now, while you're here, while we bring the cut and emboss machine over, let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment. Remember, this sentiment is from the Snowy Delights stamp set. A warm hello right there. And I'm going to show you these dies. They're really cool. They've got an inside and an outside die. And what I mean by that, it's going to cut the outside edge and the inside, okay? So right here is the big one. And you're going to take that little one and you're going to just put it inside until you see it line up. Okay, and then get the larger one. And same thing. Right, and then the smaller one. These middle pieces look very similar, but that one is bigger. So the sections are fatter. If that helps. Okay. Lay this down. Run that through. And let's put these back where they go so we don't lose them. These leave little arrows on the little doodads. They're little arrows on the inside. I like them. I could maybe use that for something else. All right, now I haven't used this die much. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Many Messages, but I feel like maybe that's the name of the older one we used to have. Look at all the different little banners that you have. We're going to use this one right here. So I'm going to take this and center it right there. I will have a supply list on my blog. I am really bad at remembering all the names off the top of my head. Sometimes I write them down like I did with the Designer Series paper, but I didn't write this one down. But don't worry, I will have it included in the supply list today on my blog. Really cool. And then you have all these other choices. I love it. All right, let's start putting this together. We're going to use some dimensionals. I also have my hot glue gun warming up. I hope it's warm. It feels like it is. For that middle part, we're not messing around. We don't want that bow to fall off. We are going to use a hot glue gun because it's a pretty big stack of stuff. Okay. Put that big one first and then get your liquid glue. And we're going to start stacking these up. 1, 2, 3. I mean, that could be your snowflake. Isn't that pretty? I love that. Okay, now let's get many dimensionals, a few many dimensionals. I'm a little bit slower with the many dimensionals because they're so small. Okay, 1, we'll just do 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, now the ribbon I'm using is not Pool Party. But let me ask you, when you look at that, can you hardly even tell that it's Balmy Blue? I don't think so. But if that bothers you, if you want it to be the exact color, you could switch your Pool Party to Balmy Blue. It's very sheer, and I think it goes perfectly well. I love the coordination, color coordination with Stampin' Up, but that doesn't mean we have to be, just because the ribbon is Balmy Blue, doesn't necessarily mean we have to use Balmy Blue. I like Pool Party with Pretty in Pink a lot. I really wanted to use that. All right, so get your ribbon, and I want it to really kind of spread out. I'm using hot glue so that we don't have any problems as we transport our treats to wherever we're taking them. All right, and then I'm just gonna hold that. Isn't this cute? So, so, so cute. I love it. You know what else would be cute in here if you tuck like a little Starbucks gift card in, and then they have a little marshmallow thing to go with their Starbucks hot chocolate. I don't know. I think it would be pretty cute. Okay, that's it for today for our Delicate Pines projects. I think these may be my favorites so far. I may say that every day. I've just been loving everything that we've been doing. Is so cute. Hopefully you guys have checked the other days. If not, there are links at the top of today's blog that'll take you back to days 1, 2, and 3. And join me for next week. Tomorrow I'll be live at 2 o'clock. So that'll be day 5. And then next week and the week after we'll finish up. Okay, you guys, happy stamping and Merry Christmas. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.